If you don't do this first, you might as well throw your budget in the garbage. I know that seems harsh, but the reality is if you don't do this very specific step before you start creating your budget will most likely not reflect the reality of life. I understand creating budgets are hard enough as it is, but this step is so infinitely critical to ensuring that your budget has even a chance of success that if you don't do it, I have yet to see anyone be able to actually succeed without it. If you don't track the last 3 months of expenses and income and figure out where your money is actually coming from and going, you will not be able to create a successful budget. Now, that seems fairly simple, and a lot of people will tell me, hey, Steph, I know exactly where my money's going. And every time I sit them down and actually make them do the exercise itself of tracking and going through their expenses line by line, it's a tedious exercise, but there is so much more clarity on where their money is going. It's absolutely incredible. So here is a step-by-step on how to actually manage your expenses and income to be able to do a tracking exercise before you start your budget. You need to get all of your income and expenses in one place. Every credit card statement, every bank statement, every pay stub, absolutely everything that's gone in or out of a bank account or a credit card over the last 3 months. Now, before you tell me, Steph, the last 3 months include Christmas. I spend way more money at Christmas than any other time of the year. Well, I don't want to laugh, but the reality is every time of the year is expensive. There is always something going on. If it's not someone's birthday, it's someone's retirement party, it's always something. There's always something going on. And so yes, I understand Christmas is a little bit more on the expensive side and you may have saved some money or put aside some money to be able to afford certain things. If you do want to subdivide that section and make yourself a Christmas section when you do your tracking and go line by line, that's fine. But make sure that the expenses that you put are 100% for Christmas only and that there's absolutely nothing else that you have bought, that it be food, whatever it ends up being, on those receipts as well. Or else you're going to get the wrong picture. The picture you're creating of where you are financially today is incredibly important to ensure the success of tomorrow. And if you do not do this work, you will not know where you're starting. So how do you know you're reaching your goals if you don't even know where you started? So once you've brought all of your finances together, then open yourself an Excel document and start tracking line by line. So you'll have at the top of your Excel, you'll have everything subdivided. Things like groceries, transportation, that'd be gas, the bus tickets, whatever it ends up being. So once you've got your groceries and transportation, the next one is usually entertainment. Entertainment is usually something that coincides with going out, tickets to shows, things like that. So you've got that line. And then you've got anything that's specific to your household. That it be kids specific stuff or pet specific stuff, no matter a subcategory that's fairly large in your life or in your spending habits. Something we did in the very first time we did this exercise, Luke and I, we subdivided our coffee. We really wanted to know how much money a month we spent on coffee because we were trying to work on a goal to go to New York and really were focusing on saving as much money as possible. And so we figured out how much money we're spending on coffee so we could reallocate those funds to a travel fund instead. So by us subdividing coffee, we could actually understand how much coffee we spent so we could reallocate that coffee budget if we decided to make coffee at home and not go to Starbucks all the time and move that money into a travel fund for our trip to New York. Now, I'm already getting ahead of myself, but that's just one example of something that we subdivided separately. It could be something like fast food or takeout, you know, those skip the dishes, things like that you think you're maybe spending too much money on, or something you really want to understand more of where your spending is. That would be another subcategory you could create. And then last but not least, other. That's everything else, that it be clothing, anything miscellaneous, Amazon purchases, things like that, it just all goes in the other category. And then it'll give you a really good sense of where your money is going. By doing this exercise, you will actually understand what each category is costing you every month. The reason we do 3 months instead of just 1 month is because things do fluctuate slightly month to month, and this will give you a better picture of how much you really do spend in a monthly basis. Things like Costco runs, you might only go once every 3 months, things like that. Or, a large grocery shop ticket, that it be toiletries and things like that get a bit more expensive. Typically, every 3 months covers 99% of those expenses. Once you've tallied everything up, you created your sum at the end, and then you divide by 3. This will give you the monthly amount you should be putting in the beginning of your budget exercise. So the next thing you're gonna do is then now create your budget. And from there, you'll have a really good sense of if your budget for food should look like $200 a month or $1,000 a month. That might all seem crazy, but I've seen all kinds of things happen during this exercise and really have people understand where their money is going. I hope this has been helpful, and this is truly the very first step to creating some real meaningful change in your life when it comes to money. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have absolutely any questions at all. We'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to slow your roll. Now, if you haven't set your goals, you better go do that first before you do this expense exercise. Check it out over here.